As we know that the law of demand shows the change in demand due to the change in price, but it does not indicate how much change would be there in the demand after the change in price. The elasticity of demand measures the sensitiveness of a change in quantity demanded of a commodity due to a given change in its price. Generally, the coefficient of price elasticity of demand always holds a negative sign because there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. The value of elasticity coefficients will vary from 0 to infinity, and there are 5 types of price elasticity of demand: perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, relatively elastic demand, relatively inelastic demand, and unit elastic demand. Perfectly elastic demand: if there is no change in the price or very small change in the price, it will cause an infinite change in quantity demanded. As you see in the diagram, OX axis quantity demanded and OY axis price are shown. DD is the demand curve, which is horizontal line and parallel to OX axis, which shows that at OP price there is infinite change in quantity demanded, which is shown OQ1, OQ and OQ2 respectively. Perfectly inelastic demand: if there is no change in quantity demanded in spite of any change in price, it is called perfectly inelastic demand. As you can see that OX axis quantity demanded and OY price are shown. DD is the demand curve, which is a vertical straight line and parallel to OY axis. It shows that quantity demanded OQ is not affected with the change in price from P1 to P2. Relatively elastic demand: if there is a small change in price, as a result, a big change in quantity is demanded, or we can say that percentage change in quantity demanded is more than the percentage change in price. It is relatively elastic demand. It is greater than 1. In the diagram, you can see that the DD demand curve is relatively flat, which shows that a small change in price is leading to a big change in demand. When the percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price, it is called relatively inelastic demand. A huge change in price leads to less change in quantity demanded. It can be represented by a steeper demand curve. Here, elasticity is less than 1. Relatively inelastic demand is popularly known as inelastic demand or less elastic demand. As you see in the diagram, OX quantity demanded and OY price are shown. DD is the steeper demand curve, which shows that there is a less change in quantity demanded in spite of the huge change in price. When a proportional change in price leads to an equal proportional change in demand, it is called unitary elastic demand. Here, elasticity is equal to unity and the demand curve is non-linear. The shape of the curve is known as rectangular hyperbola, as you can see in the diagram. OX quantity demanded and OY price are shown. DD is the non-linear demand curve, which shows that there is a equal change in the quantity demanded with the change in price. Or we can say that proportional change in price leads to an equal proportional change in quantity demanded. Thank you.